G5 jet. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
There we go. Welcome back, eSIM Studios YouTube channel. We are live on a Thursday afternoon. Pardon me. My mind is in many different places. It is Thursday afternoon, April the 9th. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. Appreciate everybody stopping by. New feature, StreamYard. You can add a poll to your stream. We're going to get into this here in just a little bit. Do you support the FCC's upcoming ban on all Chinese technology, including smartphones? Yikes. That's a frightening thought, but it's a real possibility, and we're going to get into that. We also going to get into potentially a perfect smartphone. Now, you know there is no perfect smartphone, but one company may be tapping on the door of a perfect phone. We'll jump into that. And then we have official news. Samsung Unpacked. It's their July event, but we got a date, we got a time, we got a place, we have a location, we have devices that are going to be released. We'll jump into that. But first, I have some deals for you. I have a lot of deals for you. Let me get right to it. Yeah, he went ahead and, yes, please vote. Vote on the poll. I want to see what everybody says. Told you BBK ban going to happen. They're not allowing competition. We should live in stone ages. Rocking old technology every year. That's what it looks like. And I didn't have, well, we're going to get into it. I promise you that. We're going to jump right into it. However, I want to show you these deals that I found. I had to stop myself. I found so many deals. Now, I'm always continuously, typically it's Amazon, but you know, every now and then eBay will have a deal, Best Buy will have a deal, stuff like that. But Amazon's, I'm not going to lie, it's the easiest, most convenient thing. You push a couple of buttons and it shows up on your doorstep the next day or the very same day, right? But let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let me share this. Actually, you know what? Let me hide this poll for a second. Does this still show up in the chat? This is the first time I've done a poll inside StreamYard. Does it still show up in the chat if I remove it from the display? Come on. All right, well, I will look at that here in a second, but let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. No, it doesn't, does it? Huh. Oh well, I'll put it up in a minute when we do the story. I will put it up shortly. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So, deals of the day. I found 4. Normally, I'm just gonna do one or try to do one here on out. But I was looking, I was like, holy crap! Now, these are some items that I actually have. So I know these are good products, and you can get them at a steal right now on Amazon. So there's a gaming monitor. I have it right over here. The KTC 32-incher S26 Ultra. I have it right down here. That's on sale. A cordless vacuum cleaner. I know, but we have one and it's on sale. Actually, I have all of these. Well, I had all of these. Then we got the routers on bottom. So the S26 Ultra. Look at this. Amazon is selling a 512 gig S26 Ultra at a 256 gig price. So that's 13% off. So you can get a 256 gig for $12.99. Normally it would be like $1,500. So potential deal there if you missed out on any of the Samsung pre-order deals. There's one there for you. And then also, you can actually buy, Amazon has a few different financing options for you, right? You don't, a lot of times you think, well, I can't get a good deal because I can't like finance it through a carrier like a lot of us are used to. Like me, I used to do that all the time. Just finance, just add it to my monthly T-Mobile bill, whatever. And then like And then like a couple years later, you're looking at your bill and you're like, holy crap, I got like 5 phones I'm paying off. So, well, I stopped doing that, but Amazon has financing options. So go ahead and add it to your cart. I think you can get one. They have a few different options. I think I looked at, you can get one for like 36 bucks a month. It's pretty cheap, but look into that. Link is down below. Check this one out. So this KTC monitor, I got it right over here, this 32-incher. And I guess you can't really see it, but it's to the side. Look at this. Gaming monitor, 30% off. I bought it at full price. Yikes. It's $161 now. That's a steal. 32-inch, 240 hertz curved gaming monitor. This is badass. 1 millisecond. It's got FreeSync, HDR10, HDMI, USB, VESA mount, all that and more. 30% off, 161 bucks. That is linked down below. Look at this. Yes, guys, if you're single, even if you're married, you got to keep your house clean. I mean, you don't have to do it every single day, but come on, you know. This one is awesome. So you can, it has really good suction. Cool thing about this is you can break it down, you can bust it down, and you can go vacuum your car. The charge lasts a long time. You don't have to replug it to charge it every time you use it. I'm sure some of y'all have, like I did, have like a 7-year-old vacuum that was like the first gen cordless, or first gen cordless, where it was cool at first, but the charge would last like, just one little vacuuming session. And now you got to charge it every time you freaking use it. Well, not this one. I think we charge this thing like once a week. So this is a really good deal. Again, you can use it for your car, house, whatever. It's on sale, 40% off. 40. Look how many people bought this. This is very popular. 10,000 people bought this last month. This is a steal. 132 bucks. I use this, so I'm not. Here's the thing: if you're new to the channel, I typically don't. So every now and then, I try not to. But everything I promote or like today, we did a partnership deal with ExpressVPN. I've used ExpressVPN for like, I don't know, 12 years. So like stuff that I promote on here, I don't want to tell you to buy something or put my name behind it when the product sucks, right? So a lot of these things that I promote, it's items that I've used. So good vacuum cleaner. Let's move on. Link down below. Now we're getting into the first story, but this ties into the first story. Check this out. Google Nest Wi-Fi router. Can you tell where the story is going? Google Nest Wi-Fi router. I've had this. Fantastic. Never any issues. You can actually run your whole system, your whole setup with the Google Home application. Google Nest Wi-Fi router. Now this is Wi-Fi 6. Pretty good deal, 60 bucks. One router, typically run a whole home. If you have a larger home, you can pair them in mesh mode. And then I have this one, Wi-Fi 6E, the upgraded version. This one, super cool. A little more expensive, but you get a lot more performance out of it. It's 35% off at 129 bucks. Wi-Fi 6E, Google Nest Wi-Fi Pro, had this for a couple years. So I know that it works. Now I've upgraded to Wi-Fi 7. So this, when I upgraded to Wi-Fi 7 just a few months ago, about a month or two ago, this is what I used to have, the Google Nest Wi-Fi Pro. So, link down below. But that rolls us into our first story. Let me close out a bunch of these here. Rolls us into our first story, the FCC ban. Damn. I just deleted one of my stories. I'll get to it. You know what? I think I deleted the ban. Did I? No. FCC ban. I told you. A little disorganized. Long day. FCC ban. So, bringing it back to the Wi-Fi routers. The FCC, I think it was like a few weeks ago, maybe last month, they put a ban on all non-US routers. Now, thankfully, I don't have to worry about that. But a lot of you out there that have a and that can be a ton of people. I'm sure it's I don't know, large majority, but I don't know what the numbers are, but Imagine how many people have Wi-Fi routers now, businesses, residential, commercial, all sorts of stuff. I mean, your router will still work, but what the US is doing is they're using, it's under the cover of, they're going to say security, right? Because here's the thought that the US government is essentially putting out there. And I believe the Wi-Fi router ban more than the phone ban, but they're worried that if a Wi-Fi router is made overseas, specifically China, let's not kid ourselves here, they're worried that they might put some backdoor in these routers that provide your network for your home and or business, which it is scary, right? It has the potential to be very troublesome. Backdoors, you do your business at home, your taxes, your banking, all sorts of stuff. What if somebody's watching, right? Now, I've heard they tamper with random electronics, right? You've all heard about the power grid stuff, like on the Sean Ryan show. He talks about it every now and then. All the electronic, I don't even know what they're called, transformers, whatever, on our power grids are manufactured in China. And I believe, don't take my word for it, but I think they found some backdoors in some of those, right? Well, they could easily be doing that in routers, no? So the FCC banned all the sale from here on out, meaning last month and moving forward. You could not sell a router that was manufactured in China, meaning you got to find a router that's USA made. And look, the Google routers, USA made. Well, at least it's a US company, but I know those are on the list. I checked. I don't want to promote something that was banned. You can get one of those Google Wi-Fi routers, fantastic routers, in the links below this video description. But let's move into today's story. I wanted to set the backdrop, right? Some foundation for the story today, because now we get hit with the FCC is going to ban, well, there's a vote on it here coming up, I believe, next week. And look, I'm sure they're going to pass this. That is going to prevent electronics that are tested and certified in China to be sold here in the United States. Now, when I saw this, I was like, whoa, what's going on? And then you think about it and you're like, you start reading the story and you're like, well, hold up. All the Chinese products, like phones, like OnePlus, like Oppo, like Xiaomi, what the hell is going on? So let me break it down. The Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, is proposing a new rule that would stop recognizing foreign laboratories for certifying electronics, meaning their version of the FCC, the US would stop recognizing that. A move that would significantly impact the sale of devices in the United States, particularly those tested in countries that do not recognize the FCC. While not explicitly naming China, the proposal is widely seen as targeting China, right? Following previous FCC actions like withdrawing recognition from 7 labs deemed controlled by the Chinese government and a broader U.S. government effort to limit the influence of Chinese technology. The FCC will vote on this matter on April 30th, and if passed, it would complicate the eligibility process for electronics, including smartphones, computers, cameras, to be sold in the United States, with further public comment sought before enforcement. So this is kind of troubling, because we just got word. I was just thinking the other day or last night, I was like, damn, you know that new Oppo phone that's coming out, global sale, the Oppo X9 Ultra. I was like, you know what? I was thinking, I mean, it's ugly as hell, but I was like, you know what? It's clearly going to be like the best camera phone ever made. It's going to shoot up to #1. The stats on those camera sensors are insane. And I was like, you know what? I could see myself just getting a phone, slapping a case on there, and saying, "Screw the way it looks. These photos are badass," right? Well, now I see this morning, and I'm like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me!" I'm like, "Oh my god." You do do you remember that story that came out last year about OnePlus? Now, I don't believe it. There were a couple of lawmakers wanting to put a ban on OnePlus because they thought there was a backdoor on user information and or data on OnePlus phones. Now, I don't believe it, and I didn't believe it, but I think you have to look behind the scenes a little bit, go a little deeper, and I think they were just targeting Chinese companies. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, I'm not saying the Chinese don't spy in certain ways, and technology might be, you know, easier than others or harder than others. And maybe I'm the fool. I don't know. But I would think that if it's certified by Android, by Google, and it currently gets monthly updates, and it's currently on the latest monthly updated patch, security patch, it should be okay. Now, a router, that's another thing. I don't know when the hell routers get updated. I don't know if they have a security patch protocol that they put out. And that's the scary thing. And with routers, I could see it being true. But with phones, this looks just like a hit piece. This looks like they just want to essentially cut off all electronics from China. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, I could be wrong, like I said earlier, but with all the world the way it is, the tensions, everybody knows what's going on. I don't need to say it, but it almost looks like this is taking it one step, not necessarily too far, but it might be a reach. Now, again, with phones, I might second guess. With other electronics that do not get updated regularly, I could possibly see that happening. Like those transformers I was telling you at those data centers, at the power plants. You know, I can easily see that happening. Routers, yeah, I can kind of see that happening. Phones, if it's up to date on everything, look, Google, they look for that stuff. That's why they put out monthly security patches to patch all these bugs, all these backdoors that might potentially be there. Now, other electronics like what electronics would have your data and information other than a phone? I guess computers. Damn, does that mean Lenovo laptops might be banned? Because those are China based or Chinese based, right? What about laptops, phones, tablets, I guess. But yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, I'm gonna ship. I've been so busy lately. I still owe you this. I'm gonna get it out to you. I got a pile of Amazon crap that I need to return. I'll get it to you. It's too late today, but I'm gonna get this out tomorrow to you. Miami mail. My bad. I've been staring at this thing for the last couple days, but I had to take my daughter to an SAT test this morning. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, you play Roblox? I play Roblox too. Nah, I don't play Roblox. No, sir. How much for the S26 Ultra? Right now they're going on Amazon for $1,200, which is the price of the base model. So you can get a 512 gig. That's $1,500 on Amazon for the price of a 256 gig, which is $1,200. I have links down below. Just check the description box. Let's see. Yeah. You don't care about that? Yeah, look, on some electronics I do and some I don't. Like phones, I'll give Google in the Android operating system, and look, it is up to the manufacturer because it's up to the manufacturer to push the update. Now, all phones, no, like the budget Motorola phones, they never update their phones. I might think twice about using it. That's why it's so important for these companies to push these updates out, right? I would use that to clean my room, like Officer Doofy. Why are they building in China? They're so skeptical of China. Great question. It's just a bunch of fluff. I'm going to be honest with you. You just bought a Vivo X300? Dope. Oh, that is so nice. Didn't Flossie Carter just review that phone? I think I saw a thumbnail recently. It was I think it was the X300. Looks really dope. That's the thing. As long as they update them monthly, I think you're pretty safe with the phone. But again, like I said, a router from China, but doesn't that include Linksys? Let's find out together before we move on. Hang on. Routers, Wi-Fi routers from China? Manufactured in China. Okay, so Wi-Fi routers, here's going to be a list of what you're going to want to stay away from, because this ban is in effect. And again, I've heard some horror stories with routers, so this one I kind of do believe. Now, banning them all together I think is kind of excessive, but think twice, right? TP-Link, that's a super popular Wi-Fi router. TP-Link, I mean, they're all over the place in every city, in every state, tons of businesses, as well as OEM and ODM manufacturers with heavy concentration in Shenzhen. Many routers feature Wi-Fi 6, 7, 5G, open WRT systems, often at low cost, with manufacturers including Shenzhen Huisify, GLI Net, I've seen that one, in Xiaoxin Technology. I have not seen that one. Any others outside of TP-Link? I think those are the most common. Now, what about Linksys? Is Linksys manufactured? Yes. Damn. Linksys, those are mad popular. They're all over the place. So if you have one, again, I'm not telling you got to go out and buy a new router, right? But just think that, put that in the back of your mind. With phones, I think they're overstepping their boundaries. Now, how much will that really change? How much will that, let's say they go through with this. Well, there goes your Oppo phone. Now, if you've already purchased a phone, like our friend here, the Vivo X300, if you've already purchased one, you're fine, right? They're not saying, oh, you have to sell your phone, or we're going to throw you in jail, or we're going to fine you. No, you're fine. It's just any sales past that date that the ban begins is when you can't, I guess, buy one. But then I'm thinking, well, I mean, can't I just get on these online retailers, eBay? Can I just buy one still? It's not like they're that. It's not like you can jump on Vivo's website and buy a X300, and it's like a lot of these, they don't even officially sell these phones in the U.S. So honestly, they're like, what the hell do I care? If you want one, you'll be able to get one. And I think it's just a shakedown. I think it's the U.S. just trying to be dickheads, and I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. The routers, again, I can see that, but phones, I think you're all right. There's ways around it. Yeah, they make parts in China and assemble it in a country next door, like Vietnam. Exactly. Yeah, there's always ways around it. So I wouldn't be too concerned, but I just wanted everybody to be aware of what's going on. Um, like this administration, hate this administration. Look, we just call it right down the line. And this administration, it's been in the tech world. It's funny how all these tech CEOs kissed the president's ass when he got into office for this second time. Jeff Bezos was there, the Google CEO was there, Apple CEO was there, all these executives, Mark Zuckerberg was there, donating to him, and they donate to each and every party. It's not just, they donate to everybody. So whoever gets elected in office, they'll have to, favor their donor. So whoever gets elected, whatever. He's screwing all of them. He's screwing each and every one of them, and they all donated to him. That's the funny thing. But yeah, this administration, especially with the tariffs, the way those have been going in the first year, raise, oh God, what a headache. Let's move on. Now, I think I deleted one of my stories, but I wanted to take a look at this. So I know we have some Pixel lovers in the crowd. I know we have some people that would never buy a Pixel, right? I get that. But there's no such thing as a perfect smartphone. But I think, hear me out. I think Google, I'm not saying this is going to be a perfect smartphone. I'm definitely not saying that. But what I am saying, the more that I think about it, the more that I see stories about this Pixel 11 series, the more I'm starting to think twice. Like, could this be a perfect smartphone? Because look at this headline. The Google Pixel 11 is going to debut with the Samsung M16 OLED display. Now, we were excited about the M14 OLED display on this S26 Ultra. And then Samsung had to go screw it up with the freaking privacy display, right? If it didn't have the privacy display and it didn't have that kind of washed out look to it because they had to modify the pixels, this would like blow our eyeballs out of our head. It would be so awesome. Well, it looks like Google is going to be the first in line to get the M16 OLED panel, even before iPhone, even before Samsung. This panel in the Pixel 11 series is going to be badass. It'll be the very best display ever put on any mobile device anywhere in the world, in history. Because they're not going to modify the pixels. They don't care about a stupid privacy display. And now, let's be honest, that's kind of what messed up this display, right? Because the S25 Ultra, wink wink, has a little better display than the S26 Ultra, but that's why. Hey, Google's gonna hit it out of the park with this. When I saw this headline this morning, I was like, whoa, that's big news. Now, if you're not aware of what else they're gonna upgrade their phones with, well, it's gonna be quite a phone here. So do you remember the Pixel 9 and Pixel 10 series had the GrapheneOS 5300 and 5400 modem and was not able, or still not able, to get T-Mobile's new standalone 5G network? Well, they're fixing that. They're putting the new MediaTek M90 modem in this Pixel 11. The performance of that modem, I was doing some homework earlier today on this modem. It's apparently just as good as Qualcomm's best modem that's in the S26 Ultra. You're going to be your signal is going to have a super strong signal. It's going to get T-Mobile's new 5G standalone network. It's going to get AT&T's new 5G standalone network. It's going to be badass. So if anybody had any signal problems or any carrier issues, this will eliminate dead spots, and you will have a very, very strong signal all day. And the best part about it, the MediaTek M90 modem just barely sips on the power, barely takes anything out of your battery. Very, very efficient. Another good thing about this new Pixel 11, this new Samsung M16 OLED panel barely sips any power. Very, very efficient on the battery. This could be a really, really good device to get. We all know it's going to depend on, I was going to say the Tensor CPU, but we all know where that's going. It's not going to blow you away on specs, but I'm going to take it one step further. I think where it's really, really going to depend upon is the GPU, because the processor, it's behind iPhone, it's behind Samsung, right, as far as performance, but what really gets bogged down is the GPU, right? And even in my shoes, It's a perfectly fine phone for anything I do, but I would always shoot content on my Pixel, send it to the Samsung to edit because it has a more powerful CPU and GPU. Well, the GPU on the Pixel 10 is so bad, like a Pixel 8 outperforms a Pixel 10. That's how bad the GPU is. So if they can just get their GPU at least average to a par with, it's not going to be as strong as I said, Samsung or iPhone, but just come on, we need you to step it up a little bit. Could be a badass phone, a badass phone. So you're going to get the Tensor G6, you're going to get the MediaTek M90. You're going to get this new Tensor G6 chip is going to be on the new 2 nanometer process, 2 nanometer node built by TSMC, and I cannot wait. It'll have top-notch cameras, top-notch display. The speakers on the Pixel 10 Pro XL have the best speakers on any cell phone. I never use my speakers because I always have Bluetooth in. I had speakers on a Pixel 10 XL Pro XL the other day, and I was like, holy shit, that's coming from a phone. It sounded like you had a little boombox over here. And I was like, well, hold up, let me put a song on, the same song on my S26 Ultra and turn it all the way up. There's a noticeable difference. Yeah, they're loud, but with Pixel, it feels you can hear the sound. And when you turn the sound up all the way on the S26 Ultra, it just sounds loud. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep my eye on this. I think it would be potentially a great option. We'll obviously have to see where the GPU goes. And they are sticking with the same company, the Power VR series. It is a all new GPU. I'm going to give them I keep on doing this. I don't know why. I'm going to give them one more year benefit of the doubt to get this GPU thing straightened out. One thing that does suck, though, it looks like they're still going to implement the 200 charging cycle limit. And, after 200 charging cycles, your battery capacity gets capped at 80%, and they cut your charging speeds in half. It looks like they're sticking with that. But I want to see what this GPU does. If this GPU hits on this Pixel 10 Pro, Pixel 10 Pro XL, I think it'll be a fantastic device for anybody to get. I really do. Let's see here. I don't get it how Samsung can optimize the phone better than Google, and even with smaller battery is lasting much longer. Google is lazy. Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And obviously battery is one of those things where, you can get a device that's so good on battery life, like the OnePlus 15. It doesn't matter what you do. Basically, you're going to have a long battery life. But when you get to the point where, you start comparing similar devices, one person might be able to squeeze an hour out of this phone more than this person, or, just your automatic brightness on, or do you have the display full blast? Do you have a QHD? Or do you have a full HD plus? Do you have battery saver on? Do you have sync on in the background? There's a lot of stuff that goes into play with the battery outside of a huge battery phone like a Nord 6, OnePlus Nord 6, or OnePlus 15. Like, I get it. It'll be a pivotal year. I gave Google one more year last year, and they really disappointed me this year. I'm going to give them one more year with this Pixel 11. If they really disappoint me, if it's like the same old story with the Pixel 10, I may just stop buying Pixels. But again, I said that last year, but they always get me, damn it, with stuff like this. I'm like, holy crap. If you look at the spec sheet, it's a badass spec phone. At least it's potentially looking that way. But again, it all falls on the GPU. Google Pixel 11 Pro XL getting new powerful GPU. Right. Supposed to. Remember, that's what they told us last year. That's what they told us last year, and it was worse than the last 2 or 3 Pixels. It was laughable. But we'll give them one more shot. Apparently, they're not happy with the Power VR people. The Team Pixel, they're not happy because I think they got the short end of the stick too. I think they were like us, where they thought they were getting this new powerful GPU, and it turned out it sucked. But this year, I heard they went back to the drawing board, And Power VR, I think this is their last year on the 2-year deal that they had with Immortals. That company that manufactures the GPU, I think they signed a 2-year deal with them. So look, it's on Immortals for the Power VR. If they don't produce and provide Google with a good GPU in this phone to pair with the G6, Google will just move on, maybe move back to Mali with the ARM chipset for the GPU. Again, I wish they would use MediaTek, right, or something. But we shall see. I'm going to give them one more year. I'm gonna go ahead and probably get the Pro XL. Give them one more year. I'm a sucker for Pixels. I just always have, always will be. I know they get a lot of love, a lot of hate, but I like them. I love them. So, but I told myself I'm not going to continually buy something every freaking year, and they always end up screwing us every single year. It's been the last Pixel I loved was the Pixel 9 Pro XL, and then the one before that, it's probably Pixel 7. So it's like every 2 years I fall in love with them, with one of their phones. So I did not like this Pixel 10 series. So everything's looking about on track with me liking this Pixel 11 Pro XL. We'll see, but stay tuned. Subscribe to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel if you're a Pixel lover like myself, and I'll keep you updated with everything. Absolutely everything. Now, do you have a Samsung? Where are the Samsung lovers at in the audience? So maybe you did not upgrade to the S26 series. Maybe you said, you know what, I'm going to skip it. Looks just like a refresh, a repeat. The privacy shade does not impress me, quite frankly. And maybe you were thinking, you know what, my S25 Ultra has a better display than the S26 Ultra. Why the hell am I going to upgrade? Maybe you said that. Well, good news for you is that Samsung looks like they got the quick share and AirDrop integration ready for you. Now, not just the S25 series. I actually have a long list of devices. Chances are you probably have one of these if you're a Samsung user. And it looks like the quick share to AirDrop integration is right around the corner. You know what's great? You know, I know with kids these days, they got to have an iPhone because they get made fun of at school if they have an Android, if they have a Droid. So my point is, if your kids have an iPhone, but you have Android, because why wouldn't you like Android, right? iPhones suck. Why would you get one of those? I get why kids have to because they get made fun of. But when you grow up, you know, you grow up and you graduate to better devices like Android. But you know, you may want to share a picture with your daughter that has an iPhone. Well, it sucks. It sucks. Let's face it. The integration between iPhone and Android has been apart for far too long. Well, now if you just want to share a little quick photo with your daughter or something, or your son, it's easy. It's easy now. But here are the devices where AirDrop support is going to be pushed to. Now, you're going to get this in a software update. It's not just something that's just you're going to wake up one morning and it's going to work. And there is one more catch to it. So currently, with this update, you have to be on the beta program. I know it sucks. I'm sure you've heard horror stories from my S25 Ultra in the beta program. Well, ironically, right before I factory reset and got removed myself from the beta program, what do you know? Like a few days before, or maybe about a week before I removed myself from the beta program and factory reset it, I was actually getting good battery life. I'm like, what are the chances of that? Like, as soon as I get ready to leave, all my issues are gone. Well, if you want to jump into it, look, I don't know. If you have one of these devices, you can certainly try. I think right now it's okay to join. A couple months ago, I would say, hell no, stay away from this. But we're on the 9th, I think coming up on the 10th beta update. By now, it seems like they have everything in line. Could you experience a bug? Maybe. But my point is, you're going to have to be on the beta program, One UI 8.5 beta, for this quick drop in for this quick share and AirDrop connection to work. And you might be saying, well, I have an S24 Plus. Like, I don't have One UI 8.5 beta or have the opportunity to get in it for my device. Well, now you do. So that was the other part of the news. Samsung has opened up One UI 8.5 beta for the S25 series, for the S24 series, for the Z Flip and Z Fold 5, I've heard, that's not listed on here, the Z Fold and Z Flip 6, and Z Fold and Z Flip 7. So if you want to test it out, go to the Samsung Members app if you have one of those devices. It should be, I think it's pre-installed. And if you don't have it, just go to the Galaxy Store and search for Samsung Members app. Download that, open it up, and you should see somewhere on the home screen. And if you don't see it up top, there's those windows you can scroll through. If you don't see it in one of those, slide all the way to the bottom, and you should see the beta program, something like that, right? It's been a while. So you'll see something about beta program in the Samsung Members app, and you can apply there. Now, it might be completely full. I don't know. They just released it for older devices, older than the S25 series. A good chance it's open. So if you have a device, be my guest. It should be okay now. And you can, as soon as you get that beta update and you get yourself enrolled and you restart your phone, automatically Quick Share will work with AirDrop. It's phenomenal. And if you don't want to get into the beta program, or let's say you want to get into it but the beta program is full, well, good news for you. Your One UI 8.5 stable update is right around the corner. So we're right on the tail end of the beta program, as I mentioned. So if you don't want to enroll, you don't want to test beta out, or maybe it's full, just wait a month or two and they're going to issue the stable release for all these devices and you'll have it soon enough. But it's nice to, it's a nice little thing to have, because it sucks when you have to download a third-party app on both phones, Android and iPhone. What's the most common one? Is it Blip or something? I was going to do an app review. Yeah, I think it's Blip. This one right here. If you don't know, I think I haven't used it, but this is the most common one for file sharing between Android and iPhone, or MacBook, or iPad and Android, whatever. Blip. One of the more popular ones. You can give it a try. When is Samsung going to add silicon carbon batteries to their phones like OnePlus? I hope it's right around the corner. Well, lucky for you, Samsung's on it. Samsung's on it. Now, I put out my S27 Pro video a couple days ago. Did that. It's confirmed. The fourth device they're adding to the lineup next year. It's going to be the S27 Ultra minus the S Pen. It's actually going to have better specs than the Ultra, because they're going to take the money they save and not putting an S Pen in there and put it in better specs. Anyways, it's going to be like 6.8, maybe right around the size of a OnePlus 15. They're putting top-notch specs in there. You're getting all new camera sensors. You should get a privacy shade 2.0. It should be a little better display. Whatever. My point is, they're putting their own version of silicon carbon in these phones. Now, this is silicon carbon 2.0. It's not technically silicon carbon. So I hate saying that, because it's not silicon carbon. It's Samsung's version of silicon carbon. It's got some scientific name. I don't know. I don't know what the hell it's called. I'm not a scientist. But it goes one step further than silicon carbon. So it's actually better. Now, Samsung could not put silicon carbon, or Apple, in their devices, because they cannot buy enough of it. There's just not enough material in the world. There's just not enough silicon carbon that they can get from a supplier. Because remember, Samsung and Apple are selling, with those two combined, ungodly amount of phones. We're talking about like 100 million phones every year. It's just not enough material to go around. So they have to invent it. So they have to go out on their own, put it in R&D. From what I've heard, they've been working on this for about 5 years now. And we thought we might get their version of the silicon carbon in the S26 Ultra when it looked like that really wasn't going to happen. I was like, well, they're probably going to push it back a year. What do you know? When we got word of the new S27 Pro, we got word that they're ready for to introduce their new battery tech. So yeah, Samsung's going to have it next year in their flagships. Now, I don't know if they're going to put it in the S27 and S27 Plus. Probably only going to put it in the S27 Ultra and S27 Pro. I guarantee you that's what they're going to do. And you'll see Apple introduce theirs probably on the iPhone 20 or something. I've heard they're hard at work on something. They got something up their sleeve as well. So I'm glad you asked, but it's on the way. It'll be on next year's Samsung flagship. Now, I'm not going to certify that, but I'm pretty freaking sure they're going to do it this year. I would say if I had to give a percentage, I bet it's about 90%. I think it's a go. So long, politicians are banning competition. There is no pressure on Google to change anything big on Pixel 11. I think there is. I think they hear the criticisms from people like me. I've been called the Pixel hater. Now, you can call me whatever you want. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. I'm not gonna kiss up to a brand. I don't do that. If I like something, I tell you like it. If I don't, I don't. Now, why have I been a hard critic on Google? It's because I freaking love their phones, and it pisses me off when they have all this potential. They could have a phone that's really badass way up here, but then they only reach it to here, and then the software bumps it down here. See what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? So, I think it's the opposite. I understand where you're coming from, but I think they're listening. Now, they won't acknowledge me or anybody else in their criticisms, but they hear it. Now, there's only so much they can do, right? We expect a lot out of these phone companies. There's only so much they can do. I mean, I'm not trying to take their side now, but let's face it. There's a set dollar amount that they're willing to pay for the manufacturing each phone, and they have to get back a profit of a certain amount on each phone. So yeah, if it was up to me and you, we'd be like, screw it, spec it out. Best cameras, silicon carbon, best display, best UFS storage, best everything, right? And then you turn around and they're like, okay, it's $2,300 for your Pixel 11 Pro XL. I'm like, $2,300? Like, you said you wanted everything, right? You see what I'm saying? But I get it. I think they're slowly making the change. I think if you look at the specs this year that we just went over earlier in the show, they're slowly getting there. They're slowly getting there. Now, one of my complaints that we haven't really talked about is software. I know we focus a lot on hardware, but I think they need to improve software. Simple stuff like icon packs, they don't allow. Custom font, they don't allow. I'm like, I jump back on my Pixel and I'm like, this is pretty basic. It's like a kiddie phone, you know what I'm saying? I think they need to not only I see them making progress in hardware. I can't really criticize them for software either because Material 3 brought a lot. Pixels actually have a decent amount of Pixel-only features in the software. I just think they need to go one step further in customization, not necessarily wow us with all these Pixel-only features. I want to see customized stuff. Like I said, custom font, custom icon packs. Like, what the hell? Like, that seems like the most basic shit ever. It's been on Samsung and OnePlus phones for years. I'm like, is there somebody at Pixel that just hates custom fonts or doesn't like icon packs? Like, who are these people? You know? But I think I'm going to start maybe expressing my and look, I don't dislike Pixel OS or Material 3. I like it. It's just when I go from a Samsung to when I go from a Samsung to Pixel or OnePlus to Pixel, it just looks very basic. Now, that can be a good thing too. But, you know, Everybody likes everything a little bit different, but sometimes that can be negative because it's like one of those. It's like one of the phones that I always give my family. Right? Like, what phone should I hear? Just take this Pixel. Trust me, you don't want a Samsung. They would get confused. They would get lost in the settings. You know what I'm saying? But I think they're trying to slowly improve upon. Team Pixel is trying to do that. I see it. It's just taking a little longer than I would hope. I love my Pixel 3a and still have my Pixel 9. The 3a, one of my top 5 favorite phones of all time. Pixel and Nexus hold maybe 3 out of my top 5 favorite phones of all time. They just do. Oh man, I love that 3a. It was, oh man. And here's the thing that sucks is if you want to go back and buy one just for nostalgia reasons, right? I did that a few years ago with what was it? It was more than a few years, maybe 5 years ago, with like a Nexus 5 or 5X. It was a 5X. And I turned it on. I got it, turned it on. Dude, it could barely run Android. I mean, holy crap. It's like trying to start a car from 1968. It barely ran. I mean, with apps the size they are, the information, the data. You know what I might do? You gave me a very good idea. I don't want to give my secret away, but I'm going to surprise y'all. Give me about a couple weeks, maybe a month or so. I'm going to surprise y'all. You gave me a fantastic idea. I'll let y'all know. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. Well, I won't forget because it's a really good idea. Thank you. I'll surprise y'all next month. What's your favorite all-time phone brand? Oh, man. That's like asking me, like, what's your favorite child? You know? It's like, I honestly can't pick, dude. Well, honestly, if I had to, it'd probably be Pixel. For as much as I know people maybe not want to hear that, but I was all in on Nexus. I had multiple Nexus phones. I just loved them, and it was back in the day when you could go on the XDA and flashing custom ROMs, custom kernels, all sorts of stuff. But I've had every like there's no point in me trying to choose. I'm just going to be wasting time here. But Pixel is definitely up there. If I had to say all time, probably Pixel. But I go way back with OnePlus. I've had every Samsung flagship Galaxy phone. Oh man, that's hard. That's a hard choice. Oh, you said, see, I didn't read the rest of it. If you had to use for the rest of your life, I was looking behind me. And maybe be honest with you, right? Probably Samsung, because I can't trust Google as much as I love them. That was in the past. Where they're going right now, what bothers me is their charging limit, and they can't get their GPU figured out. But ask me a year from now, I might say Google, but probably Samsung, because OnePlus is going away. They are. What other choices do we have? Certainly not choosing an iPhone, right? I'd rather use no phone than an iPhone. So it'd be down to Pixel and Samsung, and I'm gonna go with Samsung. For one, right now, where I live is in a dead spot, so it's imperative that I have fantastic mobile carrier services, and I just have to have a modem that gets T-Mobile's 5G standalone network. I just have to. It's a deal breaker for me. That's why I don't have my SIM in the Nothing Phone 4a Pro. The service sucks, so it's a bummer. In fact, I'm gonna return it next week. It sucks, but I just can't deal with it. So it would have to have fantastic service. So Samsung. But look, the Pixel, they're bringing the standalone 5G network enabled modem in the Pixel 11 series next year. You see what I'm saying? It could turn around for them. We just got to see where they're going. The Ultra S Pen is using too much space. They will. S27 Pro will be the phone for you if that bothers you. I'm waiting on the Pixel 11 Pro. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna give them one more. Well, I'm gonna give them another shot. I think if they screw this one up, I probably won't buy the 12 series and just wait and see what happens after that. But we'll get to that road. We'll get to that bridge when we cross it. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get the 11 Pro XL. I think they're working on it. Did you see what display they're putting on it this year? We led the very beginning of the show. They're putting on Samsung's new M16 OLED panel, even before anybody. They'll be the very first mobile device with this new display. And remember, their display does not have the privacy shade, so theirs is going to be nice and bright, just the way we like them. If OnePlus goes away, I would just buy a global version. I would too, but we'll have to wait and see. I know they're coming out with the OnePlus 16, but it's only going to be launched in China. So there's just going to be a China version. There's not going to be global. There's not going to be UK. It's just China. And that's the issue where I've been called out. Oh, they're not really going away. They're going to release the OnePlus 16. Okay, you got me. But it's going to be of no use to anybody here in the US. I mean, could you buy it? Sure. But I wouldn't depend on it. Or not. If you want to use it for a Wi-Fi device, sure, go ahead. But I wouldn't use it to put my SIM in it, is what I'm trying to say, which essentially eliminates the US crowd. So we'll see. Oppo might be the one to get. You're right. He says my wife broke her Pixel 8 Pro, so I gave her my 9 Pro XL. And it's only been a week without my 9 Pro XL, and I was going to try and wait for the 11 Pro, but I already miss it. I have to get one quick. Yeah, I missed, and boy, I regretted putting that into beta program. I screwed mine up when I got into the beta program. So that was probably, I spent a good 9 months on that thing as my number one daily driver, and then I screwed it up putting it in the beta program, jacked it all up. Yeah, it's a nice phone. In fact, that's a better phone now than the Pixel 10 Pro XL. Performance-wise, it is. It's just a fact. I mean, it's a fact. Let's see. I know I deleted one of my stories here. So give me just a second. Let me double check and see. We're running around about an hour. Let me see where we're at. Give me a second. Let's see. I know there's one more story. Oh, duh. The Nord 6, the OnePlus Nord 6. Have y'all seen this? Speaking of battery life, specs, it has a 9,000 milliamp per hour battery. Pretty good specs. It's got the same display as the OnePlus 15. Where does it skimp out? Because they're only charging like what, 600, 500 bucks for it. Processor is 8S Gen 4 Snapdragon, so that might be a step back. I think it only has UFS 4.0 storage. Anyways, that's available, but not here in the United States. I believe that's available for global. No, I believe it's just India. So, but you can buy it if you want it. I think we're out of time, and I might try to run back around to this story tomorrow. But the OnePlus Nord 6 is available. Looks pretty cool. Oh, and the camera sucked too. How could I forget? Cameras suck. That's where they take a step back. But again, no phone's perfect. You got to pick and choose when you go budget. You got to pick and choose what specs. You cannot expect top tiers hardware in every department when you go budget or mid-range. Only when you go flagship is when you should expect flagship hardware. So I'm going to get out of here. I do appreciate the time. Thank you very much. Remember, those deals on Amazon that we just went over, well, at the beginning of the show, everything's linked down below. I should have some stories. I don't link below, but you can find the stories if you want to. No big deal. I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate the time. Hope everybody has a fantastic rest of the day. We might do a giveaway tomorrow. So Stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. And see everybody tomorrow. Peace. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate it.